Hey there, I'm Greg Archer, and this is another fun episode of GTv. Thank you for tuning in. It is December 2013. Where did the year go? Do you know? Can anyone tell me? Thanks for tuning in. We have a great show for you tonight. But first, I want to tell you to be sure to follow us on Twitter, find us on YouTube, and tweet things. I mean, people tweet. You should tweet things about what you see here tonight. It could win you a free movie ticket. You never know, to the Del Mar Theater, the Nickelodeon Theaters. I'm just saying. Do that. Find us on Facebook. What else? How else can you prove that you kind of dig us? We'll dig you back. So check us out. Check out all our social media stuff we have going on. There's all sorts of contests. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So here I am solo because Kim is off on assignment. Kim Luke is off on assignment in Afghanistan. Who knows when she'll be back. So I'm here solo tonight, but hey, we have a great guest for you tonight. Geoffrey Dunn, celebrated author and filmmaker, will be here to discuss Santa Cruz is in the Heart Volume 2, among other things. But first, I want to go down a whole bunch of things that I just need to get off of my chest because there's a lot going on. It's the holidays, and first of all, I want to ask, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Are you okay? I mean, check in, like breathe for a second. Are you okay? You all right? I've been a little mood swingy all year, but lately I'm okay. All right, so that said, I do want to alert you all of some really cool upcoming holiday events, all right? So, and watch the screen because we have some cool shots of this. The holiday parade, it takes place December 7th at 10 a.m. in downtown Santa Cruz. I am so psyched because I'm going to be co-hosting that particular parade, the Great Parade.
No, they're not.
They're not having a parade, or?
No, you're not hosting.
I'm not hosting. Oh, well, let's scratch that off the list, shall we? You don't need to know about that. I mean, I think it's rude. That's kind of rude. I'm not co-hosting that thing.
But when is it?
Well, it's December 7th at 10 a.m. I'm sure whoever is going to show up and vocalize what. I mean, do people really need to know, like, what's happening, what's going by? I mean, who needs to have a little, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so check it out if you want. Something else pretty awesome. At Motion Pacific from December 5th through 7th. I'm really kind of bummed about that. No phone call, no nothing. They just, all right. The Stockings Cabaret at Motion Pacific, December 5th through, I'm just saying, like, I don't know who arranged the parade, but I don't know. I think I have good vocal projection. I mean, I'd like to talk about little cars going by and people in hula hoops swirling around as they kind of celebrate the holiday season. I don't know. It just makes me a little upset. Anyhow, all right. The Stockings Cabaret, Motion Pacific, December 5th through 7th. That's going to be fun. They're calling it an avant cabaret. Motion Pacific always has a bunch of great things going on there, so check that out. First Friday is November 6th. You do not want to miss that. And, dropping this week in, all the little kiosks where you can find Good Times is our Good Times gift guide. So check it out. You can kind of see all that. But I thought I'd have fun with what's going on here because there are a few things that did not make it into the gift guide this year. For those of you that might know, the Good Times gift guide is published annually. It has been published annually for many years now, but there are a few things this year that did not get in it. So take a look at the screen, follow along with me. Number one, first thing that did not get in there, mood swings. Okay, it's a new thing. Mood swings. If you can think about like mood rings, it's mood swings. So when you sit on them, the swing sort of changes colors depending on the temperature that your derriere is sort of, emitting. So you can kind of, see what mood you're in. There's also a line of, where you can kind of adjust the colors so that you can control your own mood, which I think is absolutely brilliant. But it was so packed we didn't have enough time to put it in there. So anyway, there goes that one. Next year, we'll. So the other thing that did not get in there, your set visit to the filming of Lost Boys 2. Yeah, Lost Boys 2. Oh wait, actually, that project got totally scrapped because they are now making a sequel to, wait for it, look for it, It's a Wonderful Life. Yes, there's a sequel going to be happening for It's a Wonderful Life. What are your thoughts on that? I don't know how I feel about that. If there were a person next to me, I could kind of, what would happen from here, this point on is we would engage, and I would probably ask that person, what do you think of the sequel to It's a Wonderful Life? And that person, because that person probably would be sane, would probably say, I don't think I like it. What do you think? Tweet us, follow us, do something. Respond to us on our social media. Yeah, let us know. Let us know. Your responses may win you a couple of tickets to the Del Mar Theater and Nickelodeon Theaters. So check that out. The other thing, yeah, but here's the thing about the It's a Wonderful Life sequel. It's okay. Here, it's a follow-up, obviously, that will focus on the grandson of Jimmy Stewart's character, George Bailey. And it also will feature actress Caroline Grimes. Now, folks might remember her because she played Bailey's daughter, Zuzu. And here, I guess in the sequel, she'll play an angel. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I guess done well, it could work. I mean, I don't know. So interestingly enough, Caroline Grimes is now 76. She was just a 6-year-old when It's a Wonderful Life came out. So, but apparently the story retains the original spirit and the good juju of If It's a Wonderful Life. Let us know what your thoughts are on that. Let us know your thoughts. Tweet us, post something on Facebook. Your post, your tweet, your something may win you a couple of tickets to the Del Mar Theater. What's left? Oh, you know what else did not get into the gift guide? A deluxe 2-night stay at the Palomar Inn, downtown Santa Cruz. You know, they've kind of actually, they didn't really redo that place yet, so it's still the same thing that it was, this kind of building that kind of looks a little, I won't go into it here because it's the holiday season. We can talk about that another time. Oh, wow. What else?
You're not in the parade.
I'm not in the parade. This really bums me out because I do adore downtown Santa Cruz and its eclectic mix of, it's eclectic mix, you know. It's sometimes not easily digestible, but I do dig it. But I don't know, I'm not gonna be hosting that damn parade. I mean, not even co-hosting, not even try-hosting. I mean, try-hosting would have been sufficient, like maybe 2 minutes. Like, look at that Clydesdale horse go by, and I can wave. I don't know. I'm just saying. Whoever, makes those decisions. Okay, speaking of downtown Santa Cruz, let's just move on. I was out there recently, and GTv was asking some burning questions to local Santa Cruzans. It's our 3 questions that we asked. And one of them was what we felt, or what we wanted to know, was what locals thought could boost the economy here locally. And there's a few other questions. So check out this video, and we'll be back with Geoff Dunn. Yay! Hey, this is Greg Archer with GTv, and I have 3 questions for you.
GTv?
Yeah, GTv. Say it.
GTv.
Say, this is Jimmy, and you're watching GTv.
This is Jimmy, and you're watching GTv.
That's so awesome. What do you think the city of Santa Cruz could do to generate more revenue?
Let's see.
That's a good question.
What do you think the city of Santa Cruz could do to generate more revenue?
I don't think I'm the one for these questions, actually.
City of Santa Cruz could generate more revenue by...
Okay, really, truly generate more revenue.
Let's see. I don't know. I've only lived here for about 3 months.
Well, you know, being here for a total of 4 minutes, I would have to say nothing so far.
What do you think the city of Santa Cruz could do to generate more revenue?
Allow dogs downtown again, especially licensed dogs.
Well, I don't know if it would generate more money, but we definitely need more dance clubs.
Like maybe they could use a boardwalk, something nice like that, a brand new hotel.
I would love to see us get some more eco-friendly jobs, some kind of innovations.
Yeah, Ferris wheel maybe.
Yeah, that'd be nice. An old roller coaster that relies primarily on gravity.
I mean, that'd be great to have in this town, yeah.
No one listens to me, though. Those are my suggestions.
Jeremy.
Yes.
What do you think the city of Santa Cruz could do to generate more revenue?
Ooh, I think what could you generate? I think if we increased our tourism dollars, so that's things like that's hotel tax, which is direct revenue, sales tax, that's direct revenue. It's also secondary and wait for it, tertiary revenue because tourists come spend money at the local businesses, and those businesses have more money to spend around town. I think this is a great town. It's a tourist town, right? Let's be a really cool tourist town. We don't have to like give up all the cool things about Santa Cruz and just and still be a tourist town. We can do that. We can balance both of them. Let's do it.
All right, and what's really happening here in Santa Cruz that a lot of people don't know about, but they should, 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 but they should. What's really happening in Santa Cruz that most people don't know about, but they should?
A lot of people on drugs.
What's happening?
Oh, that's a...
No, I'm going to pass.
I'm sorry, we're a little out of it. We just had a baby, so
Congratulations.
we haven't been out much.
We've got a lot of good local entertainment and venues. I think sometimes people come here and just head to the beach and party and hit the main bars, but the smaller ones are really fun places to go.
There are a lot of local grown restaurants, beer factories or beer places and coffee shops that should be accented more.
The theater scene. They have a great theater community here. It's down to the Actors Theater, does wonderful, wonderful productions starring local, beautiful actors. And I hear there's one up by UCSC that does Shakespeare, I don't know.
We have a really cool, and I'm not just buttering my own bread here, but this really cool tech, design, innovation community in Santa Cruz that is a little bit hidden to ourselves and also sort of hidden to the outside world.
From what I've heard, there's a lot of different cultural aspects between art shows, yoga, just musicians playing outside.
There's a lot of great trails that you can go hiking on, a lot of places in the mountains. Our new favorite activity is to go out to Loch Lomond and hang out up there. So there's a lot of things outside of the city.
All right, one last question for you. Is it really the way the cookie crumbles, or are we just missing something?
That's a deep question.
Good question.
Say it again.
Is it really the way the cookie crumbles, or are we just missing out on something entirely?
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
It's definitely the way the cookie crumbles.
I don't know what that expression means. I never have, so I would say no.
What kind of cookie?
Well, first of all, as someone who supports local business, I want to make sure that we're talking about Pacific Cookie Company's cookies, the crumbling.
There's like 5 meanings there that you can take out of it.
We are the ones who make the cookie crumble. I know.
Really, you want to make sure the cookie doesn't crumble at all, because it's delicious.
So take responsibility for your own cookie.
Just keep your glass full of milk, and the cookies will always be good.
Nobody likes the crumbs of a cookie.
Crumbs are kind of falling and hitting everyone.
I think we're all kind of missing out on what the real meaning of life is. And
Thank you.
okay, now I just lost my train of thought.
But we're not missing out entirely.
We're not.
We are not.
We're not.
We're not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
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 All right, we've asked a lot of questions today and got a lot of answers, and it gives us a lot to think about. So we're going to sign off now. This is Greg Archie at GTV. I'll be asking you 3 questions soon, so keep an eye out, and we'll see you soon. All right, we're back. crazy cruisins. They say such interesting things. So, hey, we're here with Geoff Dunn, celebrated national and actually international author, filmmaker, The Lies of Sarah Palin,
Yes.
Santa Cruz is in the Heart, Santa Cruz is in the Heart Volume 2.
Volume 2, which has your promo on the back of it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, you're amazingly prolific and you're extremely talented. And you have a bunch of other things that you are doing, which we'll get to. But I thought I'd start, so welcome to GTv.
It's an honor to be here, following in the footsteps of my daughter.
Tess Dunn.
Tess Dunn.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
She is.
She's brilliant, she's creative, she's imaginative.
She's a lot of fun.
And she's a lot of fun, and she's beautiful.
Got all the
She's
above.
got a big spirit.
Yeah, oh, yes, she
Yeah,
does.
we had a really good time with her on that show. I think we all kind of learned a little something from her. You know?
Yeah, you guys had a good rapport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. I was really, yeah, I've got to go back and look at that because I think she was so inspiring in how she just, takes on life and like a big juicy peach and just bites into it,
She's
I
so
love that.
there.
Yeah.
Lives in the present. Boom.
Yeah. Well, so do you.
She's taught me that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Many
great.
things. It is great.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd start by asking you, because we just came from this clip, one of the questions we asked some people on the street was, what do you think one of the things Santa Cruz County can do, or Santa Cruz can do to boost, the local economy? So I thought I'd ask you.
Okay, I
what-
do a
what
lot
you
of
think.
economic development here.
Yeah.
And I would say two things to start out.
Tell
First
us.
is to develop our waterfront in a way that's inviting and even more inviting to people. And I mean the broad scale of the waterfront, the wharf, the boardwalk, the beaches, broaden it out in a way that I think is environmentally sensitive, but that welcomes people from all over, not only the state, but the world. I think that's our jewel, and I think we take it for granted, and that we don't quite do enough to promote that, and also to make it really accessible. And by accessible, I also mean people feeling comfortable and safe there. So
Yeah.
that's the first one.
Exactly.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm working on the wharf centennial right now. My family's been involved on the wharf for all 100 years.
Yes.
And I think, that's a jewel that we don't quite appreciate enough. And that, my friends and I call that area down there the center of the universe. So I think just upgrading it and making it a little better would be great. The second idea I have is, it's already happening. I grew up in Santa Cruz before the university. That's how old I am. And there's never really been a way in which the town-gown chasm has completely been bridged. And I think we need to do more to encourage that kind of town-gown collaboration. The university is an incredible resource, and yet it's still somewhat isolated, and we don't do enough to bring it down here. We see students down here now at night. You come down here, there's great nightlife in Santa Cruz. But I think 24/7 there needs to be more collaboration, and hopefully that happens. Former Mayor Ryan Croonedy sort of started that bridge building, and I hope we continue it.
It'd be nice to see that shift. I like your suggestions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I like his suggestions. You're a pretty smart guy.
I went to SoCal High School.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
A lot of cool people went to SoCal High
They
School.
did. It's a great
I
school.
worked with some of those people.
Yes,
that,
that's
yeah.
right.
Jennifer Poley,
Yeah,
if you're
great-
watching.
Great track star there.
Right.
An athlete.
Yeah.
Who is in, I'm just going to, we'll
here we
segue, but we'll get back
Yeah,
to
no,
who is
no.
in this book.
We're starting. Let's tell me. You
Who's
have
in
so
the book?
much.
I do.
This man is extremely prolific. Okay, well, first of all, you came out with Santa Cruz is in the Heart Volume 2. Oh my gosh. Jennifer Poley. We're gonna show a picture of that.
Okay.
You came out with Santa Cruz in the Heart Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Last month.
Yes.
In October.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and so now what is this? This is
called Sports of Santa Cruz County.
Okay.
Produced by Arcadia Publishing from
Wow.
back east. And I had a massive collection of sports photographs, and I love local sports.
Yeah. You're really good at
And one of the things I wanted to do was to get it all together in a book, and this seemed like the perfect venue for me. It's mostly photographs from old Santa Cruz, and going back to the 1870s up to the present time. We mentioned Jen Poley,
Jen Poley, we love you.
long jumping star at SoCal High, both of our alma mater. And there are some very rare photographs that no one's ever seen before. Early Santa Cruz sports, baseball, swimming, track, boxing, the gamut of sports, it's in here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, this is just one of many things you've produced this year.
Third book.
Third book. 3 books in a year.
Right. Other book called Vintage Bargetta with John Bargetta.
Yeah.
That Ed Penniman did the artwork on, and it's an absolutely beautiful book. Tells the story not only of the Bargetta winery in SoCal, but really the broader history of the Santa Cruz Mountains around SoCal, Santa Cruz mountain winemaking, and also tells the immigrant story coming from Italy, arriving in New York, coming out to the West Coast, working in San Jose, and then winding up in the SoCal Valley.
Yeah.
And Ed did a beautiful job of designing that book. And then, of course, Santa Cruz is in
Love
the
this.
Heart, Volume 2,
Yes.
with your blurb on the back, and my mother and my 2 aunts on the front cover.
It's beautiful. They're
It is
beautiful.
They are beautiful.
So,
And it tells the story of Santa Cruz back from the early days until now.
yeah, so talk to me a little bit more about this, because, 25 years ago you came out with around that time,
Yeah.
Santa Cruz is in the Heart. So what prompted a volume 2?
It's interesting. I have been writing about Santa Cruz history kind of as a sideline. I mean, it's not like that's what I teach or that's what I do, but it's kind of who I am, in part. My great uncle Maulio was a great storyteller growing up, and I grew up here in Santa Cruz, and I became captured by the stories, by the narrative, by the characters that he told us about as kids, but also in our lives at the time.
Yeah.
And at some point I realized that the old sort of classic histories of Santa Cruz didn't have the characters of my life and the past in it that I knew, and I felt I needed to keep telling these stories. So you've been my editor, and I've been very grateful for that, and it's a great gift to me to be able to tell these stories. I get the urge to tell a story periodically, and I do the research, find the images, and then sit down and write the story, and it appears in Good Times or where have you. And I realized I had enough not only for this volume, but I actually had enough for almost a third volume.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously.
So, I nearly died from cancer a few years ago, and
So, okay, let's stop there for a second.
yeah. Wait. I'm just saying.
Because I want to get into that a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And we can get back into this.
Yeah, but I actually tell that story in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a story about the cancer. It's called Cancer Chronicles.
Cancer Chronicles.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you found out
Yes.
that this was taking place in your body,
Yeah.
what did you think? Like, what were your first thoughts, and what do you think got you through all of it?
Okay.
I mean, because look at you. I mean, you're amazingly prolific. I mean, how you pump out all this stuff is absolutely amazing. I mean, was there something that like clicked inside of you? It's like,
Well, I remember being sort of out of it going through the first test and hearing that I had cancer.
okay,
And didn't know how bad it was. And then the following day, met with my oncologist, Dr. Robert Allen. He was my gastrointestinal doctor, and he told me it's pretty bad, very bad. And that sent a shockwave through me that lasted about 24 to 48 hours, looking back on it. Had a horrific, violent dreams that night that I write about in the book, and they took place right at the Santa Cruz waterfront, by the way, massive waves coming over. My wife and I in a little dinghy trying to navigate these massive waves.
Wow.
And we did. Crashed on the beach, but navigated it in the dream. So that kind of was a metaphor for what happened. It was a tough struggle. But what I thought was that I might never write local stuff again, that just might not happen. And then going through the process, one of the things that got me through was being able to write. And now I'm just remembering something. You assigned me while I was taking chemo and radiation
I think I
to
remember
write a
this.
piece
Yeah, I
about
remember
Santa
this.
Cruz in the 70s for one of the Good Times
Yes,
anniversary
the
issues.
30th anniversary issue,
So,
which I'm still recovering from.
okay. Well, but you know what it did for me? It gave me something to focus on creatively
that.
and to think about it. And you were, supportive, and I got to write this great piece about the time that was my coming of age here in Santa Cruz. So it was a really important, cathartic thing for me to write about. Then right before I went into surgery, I wrote a piece about Bob Dylan and sort of that same era in his career. And I wound up teasing my wife about it when I was coming out of the hospital because I was having morphine dreams about writing that piece.
Wow.
Yeah, not a great thing. But my point being was that work kind of has got me through this process, and writing is cathartic for me, and it keeps my mind off of other things. And we mentioned
process, yeah.
we mentioned my daughter Tess, my son Dylan, who is now 14. He and I were discussing today, was only 6 or 7 when I was going through this process, and his sort of innocence and pure love is also a thing that kept me going through that process. Family love, my wife Siri. It was all a very loving, supportive process that kept me going through it.
Yeah. Did you, what? Less than 2 minutes? Okay.
Good.
Did you ever have a moment where you thought, wow, I'm a lot stronger than I ever thought? Or, because I often hear folks who, have diagnoses that they're often surprised by what moves them through it and how resilient they are. Just curious.
I knew I was a tough cookie going into it.
Yeah?
And I told my mother, who is now 98 and who's on the cover of the book, Santa Cruz is in the Heart, I told her I was going to walk through it. And I did. And I knew I could walk through it if I just took it a day at a time.
Wow.
And there's an old Mexican phrase, it's tough to kill a weed. And that became my mantra early on.
I love it. I love it. Wow. Well, thank you for being here tonight. Santa Cruz is in the Heart, Volume 2. We have Sports of Santa Cruz County, The Lives of Sarah Palin, Santa Cruz is in the Heart, Volume 1. I'm sure there's...
Vintage Bargetto.
And yes.
More to come.
More to come. Geoffrey Dunn, check him out online. Check him out at Bookshop Santa Cruz, local bookstore. Obviously our famous one here. And thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, be well. All right, happy holidays, folks. We'll see you next month here on GTV.
Happy holidays. I heard you're not doing the holiday parade this year. Is that true?
Can we fade to black already? Thank you.